Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday the 21st, ending Friday the 25th of May 2018. Remember, we're going into Memorial Day weekend next weekend, so Monday the 28th is a holiday, and we are past options expiration for May. Here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures form. Look at that, very flat week. If you look at these 5 last candles, not much there. Let's look at the let's look at the daily charts of the major indices, and then we'll look at the intra-week action. Then we'll look at the data that's coming out in the week ahead and go from there. Here's crude oil down 22 cents on Friday to 71.37, but it's still near all-time highs. Gold up 90 cents, but that's actually at 6-month lows. SOX up down $7. S&P cash index down $7.16. Which is a blip, and again, very narrow week there. The NASDAQ 100 down 35.38, down for the week. SOX down 19.67, closing under that, right on that 10-day moving average. Biotech's up 5.27. That one was up for the week. The VIX loses a penny at 1342, no big deal. TRIN 1.70 was the close. That takes that 10-day moving average back up to 1, and that keeps us from getting anywhere near the 0.85 10-day moving average sell signal. NASDAQ volume 1.9 billion shares. Light on Thursday, light on Friday, and that's weird because that was expiration. When options expiration volume is light, you know you're in trouble. There just wasn't any open interest. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 28. So that means basically dead even. As many stocks down as up on the New York plus 88. Google loses $11.62. Apple down 68 cents, which is not a big deal. Netflix loses $1.04, also not a big deal. Amazon down 7.39, Tesla down 7.72. That's the only one that looks like a blip. By the way, that gets us a 13 buy signal on Tesla, so be aware of that. That's interesting. The last one we had there was back in the end of November, and we did pop off of that, so we'll see what happens from that perspective. All right, TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, back up $1 after sweeping lows the day before. Goldman Sachs down $2.10 and sitting near 8-month lows, really. All right, in terms of intra-week action, let's go to 10-minute candles just so we can see what that looks like. So 10 minutes. So Monday gap up, went a little higher. That was the high of the week within about an hour. Sold off, filled the gap, closed about even. Tuesday, gap down, went a little lower, and that was about it for the session. And then popped back up a little bit. Wednesday gapped, opened a little close to flat, a little gap up. Went higher later, but came back a little bit. We filled that gap from Tuesday morning in that move, almost exactly. See how these gaps fill? That's the key. Wednesday, flat opening, went a little lower, came back up, went a little lower, and then Friday gapped, opened close to flat, small gap down, and then flat all day because of options expiration. What's the net for the week? Down about 14 points on the ES. Look at the NQs, same kind of story. What's the net for the week? Down about 60 points, a little bit bigger move on the NASDAQ side. All right, so let's switch this back to 5-minute candles for the week ahead. Let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out. So on Monday, OPEC, no big deal. Fed member speaking. Tuesday, Richmond Manufacturing Index, 30 minutes in, not a big deal. Wednesday, Flash Manufacturing PMI and Flash Services PMI at 9:45 a.m. 10 a.m. new home sales, 10:30 crude oil inventories. 2 p.m. Fed minutes from the last meeting. That's already Wednesday. We really haven't had much at that point. On Thursday, we've got the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, along with housing price index at 9, existing home sales at 10, natty gas at 10:30. And on Friday, durable goods at 8:30, revised University of Michigan sentiment at 10. And then a lot of Fed members speaking around that. So that's what we got. It's a pretty boring week. And again, key is what? We're past options expiration, so Monday might be a little light as you start a new options cycle, but we have Memorial Day the following Monday, which means we've got a 3-day weekend, and Friday they'll usually take off. Charts as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week.